In this lecture, you're going to learn how to create a campaign and really send out an email to your email list. You might not be ready to do this right now. You could be ready to do it later on when we look at the SEO section and create a SEO optimized piece of content that you want to send out. But if you're ready to now send out a kickoff email, just a thanks for subscribing email, something like that, I'll walk you through the steps. So the first thing that you need to do is come into Mailchimp, and in the navigation bar here in the top left, you'll see campaigns, and you'll see this little arrow here pointing to create campaigns to encourage you to do so. So you have a number of options in terms of the type of campaigns you want to send out, but let's just select regular campaign because there's a number of templates that we can use here. Now you'll see that once again, then you have another option to send it to specific segments of your list. People with much bigger lists might segment them down. For us, because we're just starting out, it's pretty small, we want to send it to absolutely everybody, and we can click after recipients then onto the next setup step in the process here. So now we want to name the campaign, and you can see here that this campaign is for internal use only, but I think it's just good practice to put the email subject line as the same as your campaign. So I'm just going to call it thanks for completing the course survey. So I'm just kind of sending a thank you email. And now I'm saying people, look, the first lecture is ready. I've set that up on the website as a lead magnet, but I can send people to the homepage. They can run through all the steps and I can see if it's really a good lead magnet, if they enjoy it, and if all the tracking, etc. is working. So your from name, I would use something subscribers will instantly recognize, like your company name, or in my case, I'm using my personal name because that's what they will recognize. The from email address, then I'm just putting in this specific domain company name that we set up. Now, in terms of tracking, you might be wondering, what are the kind of analytics that you can look at once you do send out this email address? Well, Mailchimp has its own analytics, which you can see things like the number of people who opened the email. So you can see a percentage, say 10% of people opened the email. And then if you've got a link there to something like a call to action you want people to do, then you can see how many people click on that button. Now, as well as Mailchimp's internal analytics, you can add Google Analytics here as well. And the advantage of that is you can see, for example, how many people came from email to your website, and you can measure, say, the impact that email is having in terms of driving traffic. Now, you don't need to do this, but it can be some extra information that you want to have. So if you do want to set that up, I'll show you how to do it very quickly. Then we can return to the rest of the email. So all you have to do is press save and exit. You want to go out to the dashboard. You can come to your account name, your account here, integrations, scroll down, you'll see Google Analytics here, authorize the connection. Now, if you're logged into your Gmail account that has your Google Analytics account connected to it, just click allow, and that's essentially it. Now we can return to our campaign. It's already saved there. We come back into setup here and we can click Google Analytics tracking. So this is what we are going to see essentially in our Google Analytics. If we go to campaigns, we can look at this later, but we can get a sense of the title of the email and also the date that it was sent out. And we can see specifically how many people came to the website as a result of that. So that is enough of the setup. Now let's come into template here, and there's a number of different template options that you can pick if you want to pop images in, etc. I'm just going to keep it very simple. I'm going to select the first column one here, and now you have an option to put in a whole load of stuff. I'm actually going to take a lot of this out. I want to keep it as simple as possible, so I'm going to delete this, what's called a block here. I'm going to delete the social media stuff. I don't want to send them to social media accounts. I am going to edit this. This is just a block there. I don't know what that is. Now, when I edit this, actually, we'll save that and close that for a second. I do want to add in a button here. So I want to encourage people at the end of reading this email to come to my website and to really go through the process. So you can just put in the URL that you want to send people to. And I also, they're not buying anything now. I just want to say get the first lecture free. Also, I can make sure that when they click this button, it opens up in a new window. So I'm happy with that there. Now I've taken a little bit of time to write out my email. Essentially, I'm reminding people for this first email how they got onto the email list in the first place, they completed the survey, etc. Then I try to pique their interest, give a couple of pieces of information about what the course is about, etc. And then really encouraging them to get the first lecture free and visit the website. So once you've written out your email and you're happy with it, what I would suggest you do is you come up here and you can click on send a test email. So you can choose where you want to send it to, just send it to your personal mail, and then you will get a sense of what it actually looks like when it hits somebody's inbox. And this is a great test to do to really make sure that it's appealing for you to see. So here we come, it's come through straight away. I can see that the name of the person that it's coming from, so that's as we said earlier. This test won't be there when it's actually sent out, but you can see your subject line here. Make sure that it's not too long and that it is appealing as well and kind of reveals what's inside the lecture. So I'm just noticing this, view this. Okay, that's actually fine. View this in your email browser. So what you might want to do is read through. I suggest you maybe read through it out loud because that's how you can hear mistakes as opposed to seeing them. Sometimes it can be difficult to see them, but hearing them is much easier. And then test to click on your link as well to really make sure that it opens up where you want it to and that everything is working okay. Now, once you have tested that and you're happy with it, then you can go ahead and click confirm. So you can get a kind of a recap of everything here. You can see the list that has been sent out to, replies, which address it's going to go to, the trackings that are all in place, etc. Now you can schedule it or you can send it now. And what I suggest when you are going to send it, consider the time that you're sending it out and the day of the week. So I'm trying to send it out. It's about 5:30 here in Ireland, which is about 9:30 in say LA. That is about 12 o'clock in New York, and then for Europe it's it's a decent time as well. So if your audience are spread globally, maybe choose a time that will suit all of your audience. Otherwise you can schedule it for later, but as it's the right time for me, I'm just going to go ahead and click send. So you're about to send it out and preparing for launch here and just going ahead to send it. So going to go right ahead and do that. And usually it's sent out pretty quickly, and you can start then to get some feedback as soon as that comes back in. To recap then, in this lecture you learned how to create a campaign and send an email to your email list. Remember that we also integrated our account with Google Analytics so we can really track how many of those visitors end up coming to our site. So stay tuned for the next lecture because we are going to review these analytics not only here in Mailchimp once people start to come through and open the mails, but also in Google Analytics so you can get a sense very quickly of how successful your email campaign has been. I'll see you in the next lecture.